On a warm October night in 2015, a vibrant young woman named Sasha Samsudean stepped out into the heart of downtown Orlando, Florida. Little did she know, this night would mark the end of her promising life in a way that would shock the nation. Sasha, a 27-year-old UCF graduate, was known for her radiant smile and infectious energy. She had a wide circle of friends and a love for adventure. On this particular night, she was out with friends, enjoying the nightlife the city had to offer. After a fun-filled evening, Sasha decided to head back to her apartment. She lived in Uptown Place Apartments, a secure building with key-card access, a place she thought was safe. But safety that night was an illusion. Sasha entered her apartment building at 2:10 a.m. Surveillance cameras captured her walking into the lobby. But what happened next was not caught on tape. It's believed that she encountered someone in the building, someone who would forever alter her fate. The next afternoon, friends grew concerned when Sasha didn't respond to calls or messages. They contacted the building management and eventually the police. Inside her apartment, investigators discovered a scene straight out of a nightmare. Sasha's body was found strangled, wrapped in a comforter. Her apartment showed signs of a struggle, but no forced entry, leading investigators to believe she had either let her killer in or they had access to the building. It wasn't long before detectives focused on a suspicious figure seen in the building's surveillance footage, Stephen Duxbury, a security guard at the complex. Initially, Duxbury claimed he had no contact with Sasha that night, but as evidence mounted, his story began to unravel. Cell phone records, surveillance footage, and physical evidence painted a chilling picture. Duxbury had tried to use Sasha's keycard to access her apartment multiple times, and his fingerprints were found in suspicious places. Investigators also found inconsistencies in his alibi, which placed him near Sasha's apartment at critical moments. On October 16, 2015, Sasha, along with friends, attended the final Orlando City soccer match of the season. Decked out in purple to support her team, Sasha was in high spirits. After the game, she and her friends weaved. At around 12:30 a.m., Sasha decided it was time to leave and informed her friends, who were used to splitting up and meeting later at another venue. Sasha's plan was to head home, but she never made it to her scheduled breakfast plans the following morning. Sasha's friend Anthony, concerned after receiving no responses to his texts, drove to her apartment with two other friends. They found Sasha's car in the parking lot, with a baby shower gift inside that she was supposed to bring to an event that day. When she didn't answer the door to apartment 345, Anthony called 911. When Orlando police and the apartment's security team entered her apartment later that evening, they found a horrifying scene. Sasha was discovered in her bedroom, partially covered by a duvet, with clear signs of sexual assault and strangulation. The room reeked of bleach, and there were discolored patches on the bed, suggesting an attempt to clean up. Sasha had defensive wounds, and her clothing had been forcibly removed, signaling a violent struggle. The absence of a forced entry raised immediate questions. Her apartment's keypad lock showed no sign of tampering, but her phone, purse, and key fob were missing. A forensic examination of the scene revealed several key pieces of evidence, including a condom wrapper, a shoe print, and fingerprints under the toilet seat. Surveillance footage from Uptown Place Apartments played a pivotal role in the investigation. Cameras showed Sasha arriving at the building around 1:46 a.m., followed shortly by a man who asked if she was all right. As she entered the building, she struggled to input the code to her apartment, prompting security guard Stephen Duxbury to intervene. Duxbury initially told police that he offered to walk Sasha to her car when she couldn't find her keys, but she remembered her code and went back inside. He claimed to have seen her again later, with a man he didn't recognize. However, Duxbury's story raised red flags, particularly after surveillance footage showed him on camera leaving the building with 2 trash bags hours after his shift had ended. Investigators quickly focused on Stephen Duxbury, the security guard who had interacted with Sasha before her murder. He became a person of interest after footage captured him removing trash bags from the building, something not typically part of a security guard's duties. A search of Duxbury's home uncovered shoes that matched the print found in Sasha's apartment. Forensic evidence linked Duxbury to the crime scene. His thumbprint was found on the underside of the toilet seat, and DNA on Sasha's body matched his. Duxbury had also sustained scratches and a bite mark on his forearm, consistent with Sasha's defensive wounds. Duxbury was charged with first-degree murder, sexual battery, and burglary. His defense team tried to argue that the investigation was flawed, pointing to discrepancies in shoe sizes and lack of CCTV footage directly showing him entering Sasha's apartment. They even suggested that the pair might have had consensual sex, followed by a different intruder committing the murder. However, the weight of the evidence was overwhelming. The DNA, the suspicious internet search, and the surveillance footage all painted a clear picture. After a 7-day trial and just 4 hours of deliberation, the jury found Stephen Duxbury guilty. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole for the murder, along with additional time for the sexual battery and burglary charges. Sasha's family continues to honor her memory while coping with unimaginable grief. Her parents, Ken and Tara Samsudean, have channeled their pain into advocacy, working with the Orange County Sheriff's Office to assist other families of victims. In their lawsuit against Uptown Place Apartments and the security company that employed Duxbury, they argue that the building failed to protect residents and that the lock on Sasha's door was defective, potentially allowing easy access for Duxbury.
Based on this, there's something going on here, okay? And so maybe she somehow talked you into coming in. Well, the chart's saying that you did, this is huge. And this is, did you enter her apartment?
No, I didn't.
All right, well.
I mean, the only thing, honestly, the situation is bothering me. I mean, about the whole thing about her. I mean, I'll be straight up. This whole situation has been bothering me. And just thinking about what may have happened is just...
Well, without even being a polygraph examiner, you were able to show me each question you had issue with. And every single one of them, on every single chart, was the relevant questions. So that means there's something there. There's something that you're not telling the complete truth about. You have no control over that. That's why this works so well. Now, let me show you another thing. One more thing. What's that say?
Significant reactions. Probably this is what was produced by a truthful person.
0.003%